and welcome to Knit Grit. My name is Cody Lee, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I make this cute little turtle pattern. So I've already done a turtle video, and I'm going to use that as kind of like a base video. I do this for a lot of my videos because sometimes they get super tedious, and if I want to keep making all these different turtles, then I am going to be using my turtle as a base. If you're interested, I have some other turtles that I'm thinking about showing in the same kind of vein. I have this little pumpkin turtle that I'm absolutely in love with. He's super cute. Let me know if you'd like to see that. I might do a poll on which one I do next, so go over to the community tab if you're interested in that. So we've got a pumpkin that could be next. We have these cute little lemon and lime turtles. They're stinking cute and super easy. The only difference really is how I do the tops here and how I do the embroidered little belly. I also made a super simple little blueberry because I'm from Maine, and of course I have to have a blueberry in here somewhere. And then a lot of people actually really loved this little watermelon that I made. Oh no, he's got a little piece of fuzz. So let me know what you'd like to see. I am going to put it in the community tab. I do also have a strawberry whale video already on my channel, so if you're interested in that, it is the exact same little top. Just how I do it with this shell is just mildly different because of how I do my increasing. I am going to put a little pattern up here a little bit later on. I'll have it already time-stamped at the beginning of this video. Hopefully you've already seen that. But generally you'll have the pattern that you can print on here, but there's also going to be a printable PDF on my Ravelry, and for the first week it'll be free to download. After that it'll become $3, and if you're interested in supporting the channel, you can go over there. Links down below. I'll have some affiliate links down below as well. If you would like to support the channel, I do get a little kickback, but it doesn't cost you any extra to click on those links for purchasing those items. So let's go ahead and get started. I can't get over this cute little velvet one that I made. I'm going to be doing a video on how to turn any pattern of mine into a plush version, and they, as you can see, they're just honkin' huge. So if you want to make a bigger version, this is a way that you can do that. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So for this project you will need, I am using 3 separate colors in this pattern. You can do different colors, as with my whales. I did a white strawberry, a little pink strawberry, and then the traditional red strawberry. I'm making a red strawberry, so that's what I'm doing. All of this was done with I Love This cotton. It's a Hobby Lobby specific one, but I really like this. It is just a size 4 yarn or a worsted weight, so if that's something that you are interested in, you could also use a plush yarn. Just make sure that you up the size of your hook. I used an I for the plush one, but for this I'm going to be using a size D or a 3.25 millimeter. For this I'm using the colors Sage, bright green, as well as red. This is my Frills crochet hook. I absolutely love it. It is a lot of fun and so pretty and ergonomic and helps me a lot. You're also going to need some 10 or 12 millimeter eyes. I believe these ones are 12s. These are super cheap on Amazon. I have links for these down below if you're interested in these specific ones. I'm also using a bunch of stuffing, which I have a bunch listed over here, and I'm also using a darning needle to sew in all my ends. So let's go ahead and pop up the pattern and get started. All right, so for this, I already have my turtle video, and this is what I was talking about earlier. So I am not going to be showing how to do the head or the fins or the tail. I have a link down below if you want to see how to do those, but I already have posted up the pattern for that. So I will already have these pre-made. I'm going to be doing the inverse of what I did for this pattern, so you can see what it looks like with this green as the head and then this green as the top, so you can see which one you like more and what you want to do for your video. So I have the head already pre-done, and I have all the strings everywhere. I have the tail and a knot, apparently. That'll be fun to get rid of later. Then the little tail, as well as my front fins. I could have organized this before I started doing this, but you know, que sera. Front fins, which I'm going to put over here, and then your smaller back fins. So here, what we're going to be mostly showing in this video is how to make this little strawberry top and how I then extend it out into this shell essentially. I'm probably not going to show you how to do the belly or the rest of the shell. It is all pretty self-explanatory if you've seen my other turtle video, and if you have not, that will be linked down below. Let's go ahead and get started on this little top stemmy part. Alright, so to start, I'm going to show you how I make this quick little stem on the top, and then we're going to go out from there. So this is actually separate from the rest of that, and you sew this on. And how we make the top little stem is I create a nice long tail. It's got a good 8 inches to it. We're going to create our magic ring, and we're going to put that onto our hook. I'm going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here, we're going to skip the first chain from our hook and go into the second one. So skip and then go into that one. And we're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches after that already single crochet. So you're going to want 4 single crochets. We skipped going into the 4th, and then there'll be 1 left before you finish off. So 3, and then this is the last single crochet, making a nice long piece there. There's our last, or first, really the first one that we made, but this is our last chain right here, and I'm going to slip stitch off. I like to create a nice long tail for this. Find scissors somewhere. And with that long tail, we're going to use that for stitching it on later. I'm going to pull that tail through, and that is just going to be set aside for right now, just for right now. So we're going to now grab our green again. Try not to make it too confusing. Grab and make a slip knot once more. Put that onto our hook. And now what we're going to do is do my version of a magic ring. My version is chain 2, so 1, 2, and we're going to skip the first chain again and go into the first. And I'm going to place 6 single crochet on the inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's okay if your tail kind of looks like there's a giant hole. Just pull your tail, and that works out like that. For this, I'm going to work through the front loop only unless I otherwise say, which I will at some point tell you to go through the back loop, but generally you're going to want to go through the front loop so that later you can go through the back loop. I hope that makes sense. I'll explain it once we get further along. So here we have 6 stitches on our work. We're going to go into row 2 and going through the front loop only. So these 2 little loops, I'm going through the one closest to my hook right there. I'm going to increase, which is when you put 2 stitches inside of a single stitch from the previous round. So 1, 2, go into the next stitch and put an increase. Next stitch, we're going to do that all the way around, so 6 times. 1, 2, 1, 2, and I think this is the last one. 1, 2. Let me count my stitches to make sure. I'm going to tug that tail a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Also, if your tail doesn't pull all the way shut, you can work it through the back stitches of this round, meaning I would just hold it up and then single crochet with it. Oh, let me see if I can get this to unstick. There we go. Put it like that, and it'll single crochet on the inside. But from here, we're going to go into row 3. So here, it is of utmost importance on row 3 to work through the front loop only. The other ones, it wasn't super duper important, but this one you really need to make sure that you're working through the front loop only so that later on you can pick up the back loops to get your shell going. So here, we're going to single crochet the first stitch of row 3. Then we're going to chain 6, just like we did with our little top here. So 1, 2, make them loose, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not so loose that it's crazy, but loose enough. Starting in the second chain from your hook, single crochet down the rest of those chains. So all 5 of those chains that are remaining, you're going to want to single crochet down them. This is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's why I said kind of have your chains be a little bit loose, because you're working back inside of them. So here, this is our first stitch of the repetition. This is the second stitch of the repetition. We want to do this 6 times total, but here we're going to go through the front loop only. It's really important to go through the front loop only. Grab and slip stitch. So let me show you again. So we're going to do that 6 times. The single crochet, chain, single crochet down those chains, and then slip stitch. This is creating all these nice little stemmies, which I then glue onto the shell, which works out really well. Here, we're going to go again. This is the first stitch of the repetition, going through the front loop only. Grab, single crochet, chain 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Skip and single crochet down the rest of those, so all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go into the second stitch of the repetition, slip stitch. We're going to repeat that all the way around, just keeping up and making sure that we get 6 of these little extended, going through the front loop only. I am going to hit the camera for good luck. I am going to fast forward through this to show what it looks like. So alright, so we're on the last single crochet of my chain piece right here, and what we're going to want to do is, that was this single crochet, we're going to go through the front loop only and slip stitch off like so. I'm going to leave my tail. I'm going to cut my tail actually. I'm going to cut it a nice decently long one so that I can hide it later. We're going to pull that through like so. And so now you've got this nice, cute little top. My first thing that I like to do is I like to take my cat fur off the desk. But what I like to do after that is I'm going to take my little stem part that I made right here. I'm going to grab this, go like that. We're going to grab our piece here. It doesn't really super duper matter which direction you go in, but I'm going to go around our original 6 stitches. I'm going to pull that through on one side, pull that, let's just let it go, grab the other tail, and try to make it so that it is adjacent across. So here I have it going in that piece. I'm going to go across and go through the next stitch on the other side. And what I like to do from here is I like to figure out which ones are which, because that one's from that, I think. Yes, there we go. So we're going to take these and I'm going to double knot it like so, just on the underside. Boink! Nice and tight. I'm doing the same thing that I did with my little whale. And boink! And then depending on how it looks on the other side, I see that that one's kind of blown out. So what I like to do then is take this stitch, just one of them, doesn't really super duper matter, rise it above where I just had it come out. So it's going to be going through that, like so. And then I'm going to put it through that loop and drag it down just to kind of, not take one of the tendrils. Not take one of the tendrils. I don't know what's up. My neighbors are being super duper noisy today. So if you hear banging, I apologize. We're going to try that again and go through that again. Not take the tendrils. And there we go. That'll kind of hide it. And I'm going to do another double knot just for giggles. Depends on how you need it to look and what you want it to look like. So we're going to tie that nice and tight again, just to make sure that it looks nice. So here, all those tails are pretty much useless. So I'm just going to kind of cut them a little bit short. And what we're going to do from here is we're done with this bright green for right now. I just wanted the top to be bright green. I have a lot of it though. So I'm going to pull that over to the side, and we're going to grab this red yarn for the shell. So here, we're going to leave that alone for right now. I'll show you what I do with that later. But for here, try to ignore these little tails. That's why I cut them off. We're looking at the back loops. So see this little ridge line? These are the stitches that you're going to want to go into. So here, this is where they meet. And what I like to do whenever I'm joining any back loop only is I like to take the first loop over here and join it when they're looking like they're trying to go over each other. That way I can bounce the camera for good luck and try to add on from there, and it makes it a perfect circle. So for this is row 3. I counted that as row 3 and this is row 3 because it's all a part of the same kind of stitch line. I hope that makes sense. So back loop only, we're going to single crochet 1 and increase. And the way that we do that is I'm going to slip stitch on, do a little chain, go back inside, and single crochet 1 through those 2 loops, go into your next loop and increase. So that is 2 stitches inside that single loop, and we do that again. Go into the next one, single crochet 1, next one after that, increase. That's the second repetition. So 1, next one, increase, so here at the end of this row we should have 18 stitches, and after that we're going to continue on our increases just like before. So here on row 4 we would single crochet 1, we're back to going through the front loop only, so single crochet 1 and increase, and then single crochet 1. Alright, so I finished off my increases and currently the top's done, but I did say I was going to show how I hide this. And essentially all I do is take this and take my little string right here, and I try not to grab onto the other little pieces right here, but I'm going to go through both of these loops like here and then feed it through the base right there. And then just kind of pull on it, let it tug, and usually I will double knot it with this tail, but this tail is currently being used as a stitch marker. So I'm going to let that drag for a minute, finish off my shell, and then once I'm done with the stitch marker, I'm going to tie them together before I finish off and do the belly. So here's what we're going to do from here on out. I'm going to finish off the shell part, which is just rows 7 through 11. I already did rows 3, 4, 5, and 6 with my increases. That is all done. But now for rows 7 through 11, I'm just going to single crochet around, and I'm going to finish off the belly just like I did in my previous turtle video. These are all the same. I'm going to attach the fins, the tail, the head. All of this is going to be done, but then I'll show you how I do the embroidery for the little seeds on my turtle once that is all done. I'll be right back to show you how I do the embroidery on the seeds. Okay, so now we are back. The shell is done. I have adhered the top just like I did with my whale. I used hot glue to bring this down. You could easily sew it down, but that's just what I wanted to do. I also hot glued on the head. It's not my best hot glue job, but it is what it is at this point. I'm particularly kind of being self-conscious about right there and there. The rest of them wasn't too bad. Oh, never mind, right there it was. But basically it is what it is. I added on my little fins in here. So what I'm going to do is show you how I finish off and how I make the little seeds and how I embroider that. You might hear cars in the background because they are just never ending today. So here I do the same thing with my turtle. When I finish off, I go through from the front towards the middle, the front of the loop, towards the center. Oop, don't go through both. And go like this. I made an exceptionally long tail so that I could have a lot left over for embroidering. And essentially, you can do it any other way. You can embroider it however you want. This is just how I do it to kind of make it so that it's less wasted yarn overall. We're going to keep going towards the center until I think it is all closed up. So all 6 of these stitches essentially that you end up with at the end. It's a really long tail. I'm going to go through here as well. And then I'm going to go through this top one here as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my darning needle and kind of pop it up and angle it into the shell. So I'm going to grab that, pull it through, kind of tug it, pull it in, and now my belly is all closed. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my embroidery, and since it's attached and anchored at the belly, I don't really have to worry about it. I'm going to go right above it, go somewhere else where I want a seed to also pop up, and I'm going to go through there, go across 1 stitch, and go where I want my next seed to start showing up. And I kind of just keep alternating. I'm going to go up this way because I want a seed up here. Alternate, and then go over here. Usually I do the seeds before I add on the head, but this works just as well. Go over here. I don't know, I kind of just keep guessing and throwing them wherever I think it looks good, honestly. I'm going to go over here next. I also want one up here, so I'm going to do that after. Not wrap it up on the head. So there we go. Here. Just keep on going until it looks essentially how I want it to. So I wanted a little tiny seed there. Just kind of like alternate it wherever I want a seed. I'm gonna go here, maybe, mayhaps. And then have a loud car show up. Go over here. I also alternate what they look like, and that's gonna be my last seed. I think I'm pretty happy generally with that, so I'm going to take this and go through my belly again. I try to put it through the belly at 2 separate angles like so, just to get it as far away from the original little embroidery parts where my last spot was. I'm not going to tug my tail too tight, because if I tug it too tight when I'm trying to cut off my tail, it can warp my embroidery, and that's not what I want. So we're going to kind of put a little bit of tension, but not actually do too much. And that is pretty much it. I wanted to show what it looked like with the inverse colors. I think it's super cute, and that they can alternate. You can just use this one of the greens and only use that green if you don't want to buy 3 separate skeins, or you don't have 2 separate green colors. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There is a printable PDF for this down below if you would like to have a PDF for that. Free for the first week, and after that it becomes $3. That time starts after I've uploaded. I love how this turned out, and it's super cute. And let me know what you would like to see for the other turtles. I'm going to post him over here. I think my favorite is honestly this little pumpkin, and pumpkin season is coming up. So let me know if you'd like to see the pumpkin or the blueberry. I am going to do all of these. It just takes me a while to get these tutorials out with the printable PDF and everything else that goes with it. And I get these patterns tested. So just let me know what you would like to see. The lemon and lime are really cute as well. And honestly, I'm going to be doing the watermelon at some point. It's pretty easy just to do this little string on here. I love the plush turtle. He's stupid cute. Let me know what you would like to see for these turtles. I am going to be doing a video on how to make any of your amigurumi a plush version, and some tips and tricks for that as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe and hit the little bell before you leave if you want to be notified when we post more videos like this. I do put free printable PDF coupon codes with all of my videos, so you'll be in the know when I post them and be able to download those. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. If you want to help support the channel, we have that over at patreon.com/knit. So really, that's it. All right, until next time, guys. Bye.